I want to talk a little bit about climate change because that's what Hamilton 350 is about. Climate change, I was told earlier this week, is the new sex. Everyone knows about it, everyone's doing it, but nobody wants to talk about it. And one of the things that we're trying to do is break the silence and generate that conversation that's necessary to actually take action and change the situation with respect to climate change. We know what causes climate change. It's the burning of fossil fuels. And unfortunately, for the last 25 years, we have been focusing on something called greenhouse gas emissions that nobody knows what they are, rather than simply saying, stop extracting and burning fossil fuels. At this point in time, the absolute minimum step that's required, when we know what the problem is and we know what consequences we're already facing, and we're already seeing them here in Hamilton, from flooding to frozen pipes, at this point, what we need to say and need to do is ensure that there, at a minimum, there is no increase in the extraction and burning and transportation of fossil fuels. And that has been much of the focus of what Hamilton 350 has been doing in terms of opposing the pipelines that are being built and expanded to move particularly tar sands and Bakken oil across the continent, and opposing the vast increase in rail transport, which is threatening our communities right across the continent, and which we're reading about virtually on a daily basis of another train blowing up. So we're the organization that is working on that. We are certainly working with lots of other organizations. One of them that we're working with is Environment Hamilton. And one of the things that we're doing in terms of advocacy work and funding that advocacy work is a bicycle ride called the Carbon Cycle, which is taking place on June 6th and 7th. A ride to Lake Erie and back. And there's also shorter rides for people who don't want to take on quite 140 kilometers over 2 days. So you can talk to me afterwards about that. Thanks very much, Michael.